Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Same flavor series V's. I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff that, folks, I can't really snap very good right now. I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, finally making it back out to this place, and I'm so excited. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, hug yourself when no one else will. I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear a super cool shirt, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my Killer's Confession shirt. AKC. What's Killer's Confession, though? Killer's Confession are a heavy metal band that was founded by a guy named Waylon, who previously been one of the lead singers in the band Mushroomhead for many years. After his kind of split with them, he went over there and he started up his own project, that being AKC. I became aware of them maybe not too long afterwards, and it took me a little bit to kind of catch up with what they were doing and everything. But I was fortunate enough, a few years ago, I got to see them perform live for the first time. I absolutely loved it. I thought they were incredible. And I've been fortunate enough to go over there and see them perform live a number of times since. It's actually where I got the shirt. A little over a week ago, they went over there and they performed out by me. It was incredible. I actually have videos of the performances of theirs that I've attended. They're on the channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're fucking awesome. It's like, especially their latest album, Victim 1, my favorite album there so far. So I'm more than happy to just, yeah. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why am I so happy to be out this way again? That's because, folks, I'm back out at, boom, Ethio beans. We're eating Ethiopian food again. Yay! So yes, this is a super cool local spot that I found. I forget if I was there the first time last year or the year before. Either late last year or early this year in 2024. And I've actually reviewed a couple of their things. Those reviews are already on the channel. I did their samosa, and I think it was their kiwat, I want to say. And I've just been wanting to get back out here. You know, not only so I could do more reviews, but because it's so damn tasty and good. By the way, what with this being a local Illinois spot, this review is going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just local spots. Just toss that out there. That's always a cool playlist. But yeah, I finally made my way back out here, and I decided to go over there and order up some more super tasty Ethiopian food. Hopefully super tasty. What am I starting with? It happens to be, it's the hottest thing in the world. It's boom! I actually like the fact they have like a little, like they have a personalized thing. It says Ethio beans on it. That's cool. But what the hell is this? This is their, and I apologize for any pronunciation stuff, because this guy, their Tegabino Shiro. So I looked into it, and Shiro, I guess, is like a type of stew. I guess that's like a thing. It's typically made with like different types of like beans and stuff. In the case of this, it comes with injera bread, which I have so much bread. Injera bread, and then it comes with your choice of spiced legume. You can either get chickpea, fava beans, or field peas. I got the fava beans. And then you can have it prepared in oil or butter. I got it in butter. So, let's try out a funky stew. And I'm going to try it without the bread just to start, and then we'll go over there, we'll get in some of the bread. Boy, oh boy. Again, it's the warmest thing ever. I don't know how I'm going to get a thing for the thing. It looks like this. Yeah, and we'll kind of... That's such a terrible thing. We'll try to get a better one. But anyway. Okay. Yeah, it's very very viscous. Kind of reminds me of like a squash soup or like a pumpkin soup or something like that. Kind of similar texture. Ooh. beanie. I like that. That's got a kick. Ooh, that's really tasty. Ooh, that kick is nice. Especially right now. Excuse me. I'm still working my way through a little bit of a bug, so I've got some gunk in my throat and everything. Yeah, that's definitely cutting through. Okay. It's really good. Very earthy, very nicely spiced. And it's nice, like it's so homey tasting, again, kind of going back to what I was saying, like a butternut squash type soup or something like that. It kind of gives me that vibe of, like freshly made, freshly made, like from the garden, that kind of thing. My dad used to go over there and grow squash. So every now and again he'd do like a soup kind of thing. And this is kind of giving me those vibes. But yeah, and it has that, like, best way I can describe it is just very earthy. And like in such a nice way. But let's get some of the injera bread in. And the bread is like very much a staple part of like at least my experience with like Ethiopian food. And it's a very unique bread. I have so much of it. Let's it's gonna be the best way to get this. Yep. There we go. And this is the injera bread, and you use this in a lot of the cuisine at Ethio Beans. And it's like this kind of spongy sort of like, it's an interesting texture, and it has kind of a sourdough taste to it. Now let's see if I can get like a better picture for my thing. We'll kind of sop it up a little bit, and then maybe we can do a little something like this, and we'll kind of like, it's so bad. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. All right. And I love the bread too. First time I ever had it, I didn't know what to think of it. I was like, I'm not sure what I'm doing with this whole thing. But then, once I became a little bit more familiar with the Ethio bean stuff, it was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, this is their way of kind of just, sopping stuff up and picking things up and everything, and it's so good. And the thing is, like, coming from a Western perspective, that might seem a little bit odd at first, but then you think about it, and it's like, well, I know I'm not crazy. I'm not the only person who can, when I get like a house soup or something like that from a restaurant, a lot of times I'll go over there, take like, a roll or a croissant or something, pop it in there. This is so good. And I actually really like the way that it interacts with the stew itself, because it does have like a sourdough kind of taste to it. So it has that little bit of a sour tanginess to it. And it kind of, this has like that real, again, very homey, very earthy sort of vibe. You cut into that a little bit with that tanginess. So yeah, this is super duper good. This is like perfect comfort food. Like, I'm clearly not from Ethiopia, and my experience with Ethiopian food is sadly, somewhat small in sample size so far, but this is exactly the type of thing that I could go over there and like just on a rainy day or some shit like that, man. It's so good. I love the flavor of it. I love the earthiness of it. I love the heat. I love the spice. This is super good. All right. Well, I gotta put it down because otherwise I will just eat it all on camera. Yep. All right. Well, with all that said, two questions have to be asked. Would I get this again? Would I recommend this? Yes and yes. So like, this is kind of a cool almost appetizer kind of thing, I mean, this is something, one thing I will say with Ethiopian food that I've learned from experience, it is best when it's shared amongst people, because like you're getting big portions And again, you use the bread, you kind of pick up what you want and stuff. It is a thing. If you just go by yourself, boy, oh boy, you will have a very, very filling meal. But no, I would absolutely get this again. Like I said, everything about that. I love the flavor of, I'm not super familiar with fava bean flavor, but I love that you can taste the beaniness of it. I love the earthiness. I love the kick on it. It's just the right amount of kick, where it kicks you in the back of the throat, makes you think about it for a second, but it never becomes obnoxious or anything, and just accentuates the flavors, kind of opens your palate up. That is fantastic. So much so, if you watch my channel long enough, you might know where I'm about to go with this. I'm calling this the business. Folks, if you don't know what that means, when I refer to something as the business, that means that basically it's pretty much like a perfect item. It's, you can maybe tweak it a little bit here or there, you can do a little this, a little that, but like fundamentally, it's just structurally perfect. That's how I feel about this. I'm somebody, I love stews, I love soups. Again, man, like they're my comfort food. Something like this is just, it's so cool to go over there and experience this as somebody who likes that type of food. And then to have, this thing where it's somewhat similar to some stuff that I've had, but also very different in other ways. This is so good. And I think I had their, like I said, I'm pretty sure I did their samosas before. I like those. They were really good too. But this for me would be what I would probably start with next time. Although the samosas might be a little bit less heavy overall, but depending on what you're getting. And if I'm recommending this, I am recommending the shit out of this. Like, Ethio beans has, for me, never disappointed. Everything I've had from them, I've found to be not only really good, but just, so unique in such a fulfilling way. This is the type of place that I love reviewing on both, a video content level, but also from the perspective of just a personal level. Like, this is the type of place that I love to go to because it's just great food, it's new experiences for me, and when it comes to this particular dish, this is one of those things where it's like, yes, if people are going to go there, I'm going to recommend this to them. So, but anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly Ethiopian food-tastic rest of your life, I guess. Because, again, so far, man, I got one more thing to review after this, but final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in your life. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you ever had Ethiopian food or, any other type of that regional cuisine? My hope is to just, keep learning, keep trying stuff. That's one of the great things about this channel for me is it provides me with, that extra motivation to, go over there and, explore all this different stuff and everything. So, but if you do have any experience with it, please let me know. Recommend dishes and stuff like that. I'm always eager to try new stuff. Anyway,